Good morning. I'm heading off again, this time off to Belgium because there's a new biker hangout in Zandhoven, Belgium, and they are stocking our Libertatia tool rolls. So I'm going to take over a couple of extra straps for them, check out a Belgium biker hangout. And I've only got a one-way ticket. The first stop today, I'm going to head over to the port of Dover, get the ferry to Calais, then ride over to Zandhoven, which is about 250 miles from here. Exactly, almost exactly actually, I just looked on Google Maps, east, right in that direction. From there, I don't know. I've only got a couple of days away, I think, but I quite like the idea of heading 3 hours south from Zandhoven to Luxembourg. So I'll just see where the wind takes me. I'll take you along with me, of course. I'm packing ultra light. I've already booked accommodation and I'll show you that later. I was extremely pleasantly surprised by this accommodation, so I'm excited to show you that. And all I'm taking, 2 panniers, nothing else. I'm not taking any of the extra luxuries like extra shoes. Nope, simple, stripped back, calm. I'm even in plenty of time today. This is going to be a nice relaxing trip. I've got an hour until I leave. That's how relaxing everything's going to be on this trip. So, well, let's get started. Even though I've got loads of time, it's just nice to do everything in my stride. I'm not even going to have a coffee now because I'm saving that for the ferry ride. This was so easy to pack for. 5 minutes, genuinely, that's all I took. 2 panniers, filming gear in that one, clothes and sponge bag in that one. On the back, a couple of waterproofs, top and bottom, in case there's a downpour, which there may well be. D-lock to lock the bike. I fitted my quad lock charger to the handlebars so I can charge my phone as I go. And yesterday I just gave it a quick clean. Monica helped me. And I also gave the chain a bit of a lube as well. So we are good, set to go. The bike's got a full tank of fuel and we've got, or I've got, 1 hour and 20 minutes to the coast.
Fight the darkness till break of day.
Hello.
The heart and the past changes so fast, like a chameleon. Red ones and blue skies. What did we know? We were so very young.
life jacket and instructed by a crew member on how to...
Effortlessly making all of you feel motion soft.
I love it when that happens. I rode over to the ferry, and without even putting my feet down, the team from Irish Ferries just beckoned me over and get me on an earlier ferry. I didn't even have a chance to put my feet down. I'm only meant to be heading off on my ferry at 2:15, but it's now only 1:15, and I think you may be able to make that out. I'm already only about half an hour away from France, so I've saved, I'm sure, at least an hour and a half. These Irish ferries, I've used a couple of them before, but this one more so than any other ferry that I've used for the crossing from Dover to Calais. It is the most industrial style, stripped back to basics ferry that I have ever been on this route. So much so that I got out of the car deck, climbed up the stairs, and I thought I must have made a wrong turn, and I must have been in the employee section of the ship, because you don't get to a nice fancy reception area. Nothing's polished. It's all stripped back to basics to keep the experience as keenly priced as possible. So I very nearly had to turn back until I saw a sign saying club level or something like that. So I decided just to follow the sign, and luckily it took me to the restaurant and bar area. But even the restaurant area is the smallest restaurant area that I have ever seen on one of these ships. I think they cut back on any of the luxuries as much as they possibly can for Irish ferries to make it as well priced as it possibly can be. And it is extremely well priced. £41 for this crossing, booked yesterday, and you can take your pick from an unlimited amount, morning, afternoon or evening. So from a budget point of view, it's brilliant. But if you want those extra little bits of luxury, for example, a slightly better meal, nicer lounge areas to chill, more loos, things like that, you're probably better off going with another company. Luckily for me, I think I'm heading away from the clouds now. England's now covered in cloud, but ahead of me there, France, looks like it's quite nice and blue. Welcome to France. As soon as I got here, I pulled over right here to check the exact hotel address to type it into my sat-nav. I'm heading to Zandhoven, and because my attention to detail is so poor, I didn't realise that the hotel I booked this morning is actually in Antwerp, not Zandhoven, which is an hour away from where I really want to be. I think I just typed in Zandhoven and picked the first hotel, and of course booking.com often just sends you random hotels in the rough area, not specifically in the town. So I'm not actually going tonight to where I thought I was going. I'm going to Antwerp, not Zandhoven. Antwerp also has a low emission zone, and to be able to drive into low emission zones, which are popping up all over Europe, you have to register your vehicle, to the best of my knowledge, before travel. So I've just had a panic situation thinking, have I booked a hotel in the middle of Antwerp where I'm not actually allowed to take my bike? Luckily, from what I've seen, it looks like motorcycles are exempt. Ridiculously lucky. So I can go into Antwerp, to the best of my knowledge, no worries at all about any of this low emission zone ticket stuff, whatever you need, and ride freely. So to the best of my knowledge, looking on Google Maps, I think I'm staying somewhere in the middle of Antwerp. It's 3 hours away from here. I think for today, I think I'll probably just smash out the motorways because it's about 3 o'clock and I want to get there, have a little wander around town and grab a bite to eat. This is it. The proper bit of the road trip begins. Last stop off before I get to Antwerp, filled up the bike with fuel, everything going perfectly. I didn't expect this. This is a really nice surprise. I haven't stopped off once for a toll road. I haven't got to one péage booth, had to get my credit card out or anything like that. I haven't paid 1 cent in road charges. I expected by this point I'd have had to stop off at least 3 times. So that's a very nice surprise. A couple of days ago, for my weekly podcast, Tuesday at Dobbs, I was reading out a story from a Turkish rider. And he's fairly recently passed his test, and he had just got back from his first big road trip. And he said after he'd done his first road trip, it's almost like an addiction. You immediately start planning your next adventure. And I completely get it. It's that feeling of adventure, the open road. It's completely addictive. Not knowing where you're going to spend tomorrow night, not knowing what adventures you're going to have tomorrow, not even really knowing where you're going to be or go the next day. It's an amazing feeling. And even the mundane stuff like this, I'm in a fairly standard Belgian service station. And for the locals, this is just completely normal. It's nothing remotely interesting, but for me, it's new, it's exciting, it's interesting. You just got to soak in all of those little bits that for all of the locals, it's nothing at all. But for me, yeah, everything's new and exciting. I love that about adventure. It may be July, but it's quite cold and I've got a feeling the rain's coming, so I'm going to put on an extra layer and then finish off the last 40 minutes of today's ride. This is incredible. You may think I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. I am in the heart of Antwerp. Literally could not be more central, and it looks like a lovely town, city. And this is £41 a night. I mean, yes, it's extremely basic. The carpet hasn't been changed probably in 20 years. Everything is as basic as you could get. But for £41 in a city centre, when in England, when I was looking for campsites, I was looking at between £30 and £35 a night for a campsite, when for just £6 a night more, I can get a perfectly decent hotel room right in the heart of a city with restaurants, cafes within 100 metres of me. I'll grab the camera and show you a bit of this. This is phenomenal value. Right, if I put the tripod on the side and I'll start just from outside, you can kind of get an idea of the simplicity of the hotel room. 907. You come into this extremely dated, quite stained carpet. I guess it's a little bit like a prison cell, but with carpets. Bed on the side, but everything perfectly clean, a little reading light there. I've even got a cupboard. I cannot get over the value. TV, mirror, little table with a phone to do my business calls in the morning, extremely clean and perfectly well appointed bathroom, and I may be wrong, I think this is the station here. My bike is parked just out of sight down there. I asked if I can leave it there. She said she's not sure about bikes, so I may just push it next to a lamppost somewhere in town. But look, brush over the stains there, that's fine. £40 cannot go wrong. Right, I'll go and move the bike. I'll take you into town with me, show you a bit of Antwerp, and then I'll grab a bite to eat and wrap it up. Okay, I'm off to Wagamama's for dinner, so I'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching day one of this trip. Have a brilliant week all, and I'll see you all in the next one.